Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. I was going to title this video 2 sprays in the vineyard or something like that, but that's not going to happen. Let me tell you why. The first spray was going to be glyphosate. I was down in the vineyard about 3 days ago and the weeds were starting to come back. I knew I had to spray glyphosate. The buds were burst and they were maybe 3/4 of an inch long and they grow really fast at this time. So I figured I was going to have to spray the mancozeb and mycobutanol today as well. But I went down and I sprayed this, and I went through the entire vineyard and looked at all of the buds or all of the shoots, and none of them was much more than an inch long. So there's no need for the mancozeb spray today, but I do have to get down there and thin out all them little shoots. So this video is going to be about spraying glyphosate. I already did that and I filmed a little bit of it. Now I'm going to go down there, I'm going to get my belt on, and I'm going to do some shoot thinning, and I'm going to explain in a lot more detail about replacement cordons and how to watch out for them coming up out of the ground, this, that, and the other thing. Got a bunch of explaining to do, so let me get my tool belt and get my stuff situated, and we will meet back in the vineyard. I was down here spraying the glyphosate and I got up to here. You really have to watch out for shoots coming up out of the ground this time of year because you don't want to spray those, but you also don't want to spray these. And this vine does not need a replacement. I have the blue tape on all the ones that need a replacement. So I'm going to take that off. They come off that easy this time of year. That way this can't get sprayed. And if I spray a little bit of glyphosate on the trunk here, it's not going to do anything to the vine. It has to go on to something green. All right, I'm going to continue spraying. I will show you if I find any sprouts coming up out of the ground. We're just like 20 feet down and we got another one. This is coming off of some old wood right by the ground. This one actually was in the ground, but all of this stuff down here needs to come off because this one already has a replacement. And apparently, oh yeah, both of these are replacements. This one is either dead or doing bad. Yeah, it's got buds on it, but everything else is all sprouted out. So this is pretty sickly. So these are both replaced. Oh yeah, it's got it marked. These are both replacements. If we have too much problems with this, I'll have to replace the whole vine. But and these little red buds like that, you don't want them right near the ground either. Now I can spray around this and move on. And we are another 20 feet down the row, and here's one coming out of the ground, and it's got one coming out real low here, and this one is a total replacement, I believe. No, actually this cordon's okay. I believe I'll cut it right here, and one of these two will be the replacement, most likely this one. So in this case, I'm just going to hand weed. There's another sprout right there. I don't need that one. Okay, that should do it. Later on in the year, it gets so dense in the vineyard that you can't do this stuff. If you don't do it this time of year, it's probably not going to get done. Give you a quick little peek at this one. I'm already done with it. but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shoots. That's all I could get out of it. This one was just too awkward, and these are the 2 replacements. So on this one, in the space where that other one would be, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have an extra shoot on this side in that opening, and they're all kind of going sideways. There's really none, well actually on this side there was a couple going straight up, and those were cut off. And they're not really well spaced on this side, but this side they're all very well spaced, about 6 inches. So this was a replacement from 2 years ago, and this stuff right here on the side, just gonna rub that off. Okay, that's it for this one. You can see there's tons of stuff on the ground that I picked off of this. That's because this is a brand new, it has 2 brand new replacements. So you can see this is 2 years old, this is 1 year old, and this entire top and arm on this side is 1 year old. So this needed a whole bunch. I'll keep an eye on this one. It's probably going to need a little bit more work a little bit later. Okay, I'll show you this right away. We have a replacement trunk here, and I've already popped off most of the buds. Yeah, well, apparently I didn't get them all. And once we get up to about right here, this is the shoot that I'm going to keep. I'm going to cut this whole top off, but I'm not going to do it quite yet. If something gets damaged, I want to have another shoot to use just in case. This one is kind of high. I pull it over there. See, this isn't very flexible anymore because it's last year's wood. I can take this shoot, once it starts growing, I'll tie it right onto here, and then I'll loop it around through here and onto the wire. That way I'll have a full, nice long arm on the wire. And on this one, it'll have to come over and then end up going to the wire about here. And I'll probably be missing a spur right here. So this is my go-to right here, but this one will be the backup. On this one is going to go straight up. I have no doubt about that. And now what's left over is 1, 2, 3 shoots. Got a bud that's going to go right there as well. So next time I come through here, if this one insists on going up, I may take it out. It looks like these 2 are going to go out a ways, and then they finally start hanging down and they'll go to the wire. Any ones that want to go straight up need to go. This next one right here has a tiny little shoot up at the top, and that's aiming out sideways, but it's aiming into the cordons, so I don't know about that. And then it's got this one, which I don't know. It's going to come this way somewhere. And then it's got 2 buds that are still working on it, and this is a tiny little basil bud. Not doing too good right here. This is just kind of a cluster. Believe I'll get rid. I probably could have left that one on, but this one that's going straight up definitely has to come off. Still got a couple buds that want to shoot. One right here, but I'll leave that on. This one has 4, 1 going straight up, and it's got some secondary shoots going as well. We'll just leave those alone for right now. This one in here is going straight up. I don't know about that. I'm probably going to leave that alone. But it's got another one over here. This has got plenty. I think I'm going to take this one out and hope that these 2 go downwards. This one as well. Time will tell again. I'm going to take both of those upwards. This one's facing straight down. So that might be really nice. Okay, here is a brand new one. Unfortunately, this arcs way up over the top. What do we got here? One. Doesn't really want to go that way much. These buds are incredibly fragile at this time. They'll just pop right off, so gotta try to be really careful. So we gotta up, 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 and I'm gonna take all those off, and I'm gonna cut the cordon right here. Get my snips. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 to fill this open space here. That's not ideal, having it way back here, but it is what it is. With these tiny little shoots like this, it's way too early to tell. Like this one right here could go out and then go straight up. So a lot of them, I'm just gonna wait and see what it does. This has like 2 on this side and 3 on this side. I'm gonna leave it alone until they get a lot longer, and we'll be able to tell, because this might come out and then drop down, and this one might curl and go up. I want to try to keep the ones that are going down and get rid of the ones that are going up, but if need be, I'll just hedge the top like I normally do. But I'm trying to get on top of this a little bit early this year. All right, I'm gonna walk back up this row and then go down the next row. You really always have to go up and down on a row, because you see stuff a lot different from the opposite side of the row. Like this one right here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 shoots here. This one is absolutely going to go straight up, so there's no need to keep that at all. This vine doesn't have a whole lot of support. I think I'm going to tie this right away. All right, here's kind of a mess. We have 1, 2, 3 buds in various stages of opening. We have a fairly tight bud here and a fairly tight bud there. That's 5. We have 6 and 7. 6 and 7 look like they're going to do just fine. Same with that one right there. But I'm going to leave this whole mess the way it is. Oh, maybe not. I think I'll take out that one there. When I come through here at the 4-inch shoot stage, I'm going to have to thin this down probably to 2, but that all depends on what's around it. This one may only have 1, so if this one has 1 and this one has 2, I'll probably leave 3 on here. Got 2 right here. Those are both pretty nice. And then we got 2 buds, and those are in a nice position as well. There's another bud right there. So again, when this is at the 4-inch stage, I'm going to have to get through here and do that one last thinning. Then I'll spray them, and I probably won't shoot thin again until the next stage. Here's another problem vine, the entire thing. This right here, this is a replacement trunk. It's probably 3 years old, and it had the cordon die on it. I believe that was last year, and the only thing I had to replace it with was this bull cane. Bull cane is a cane that grows abnormally fast. I don't know, in nature it's probably a vine's way of spreading itself really far away, because I've seen them grow like 25 feet in 1 year. The problem with these is that they're really widely spaced nodes, and I've found that the bull cane itself is not that fruitful. So this arm is going to get removed, and it's going to get replaced with something that has more normal growth. And then this cordon right here has to go as well. This, I tried growing some stuff out here to try to fill in for the missing spur here. There's another missing spur here. This shouldn't be here. So then we have like at least a foot distance between this one and this one. And both of them are kind of, I don't know, kind of aiming out to the side. These will be fine this year, but I got to get rid of this cordon. It's just very unproductive. So with that said, both of these cordons have to go. And luckily we have this and this. These are so fragile this time of year. If you just push on it a little bit, it'll fall right off. So I'm gonna try to be gentle. Once these two start growing a bit, I'm gonna train them along the trunk here and out onto the two cordons, and next year, or possibly the year after that, but most likely next year, I'll get rid of all this old stuff. Then it'll just be a short fat trunk with two newer trunks coming out of it. Here's another cordon that got pretty damaged by the winter. Got 1, 2, 3 different spurs that died, and it only has 3 left here and then 1 at the very beginning. I'll still get a bunch of grapes off of this, but I need to get a replacement onto the wire before it gets any worse. And with this one, we have a chute way down towards the bottom. Again, I'm going to train that up along the trunk, but we also have one here and one back here, so I'll let those grow as well. This arm isn't the best either, so I might end up replacing both of these, but I won't be doing it this year. That'll be something for next year or the year after. First, I'll get this stuff growing up and get it trained right along with this one, and then at some point take out the old one and leave the new one in place. Here's a replacement cordon from last year, and this is the correct growth, about 6 inches. So we have one facing up. This one would definitely have to go. So then we got one facing down, one up, and this one is kind of sideways, this is kind of sideways. This one's definitely up, this one's definitely up. Got a fair space between those two. And then, what do we got here? That one is facing up as well. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The spacing isn't real perfect, but never really is. This one I'll probably get rid of, but I'm going to leave it on for now. This one right here is probably going to end up as a replacement for this arm at some point, but this arm is still pretty darn good, and it'll give me a lot of fruit this year, so definitely not going this year. This vine right here, I replaced this the first year of the channel, and I believe I have video of this as a baby, but this is its 3rd year. This year, we have a bud way down there and one here. This only has a single trunk and it splits way up here. But the 2 cordons look beautiful. Look at that spacing. So what I gotta do now is very carefully pick which ones of these are gonna be spurs. You can pretty much tell these that are going up, and they're pretty well spaced. This is going to have to go down eventually, but it probably won't this year. But the buds that are angled downwards, I'll develop those until it has a spur going completely downwards. And this will probably, as these lower ones grow out, it'll twist the vine until they go like that. So we should end up with some nice spurs going downwards like those. So I'm going to get this one pruned up and I will show it to you afterwards. Okay, all done. This side has 6, this side has 5, and I can probably extend this one out to here and get a full 6 on this one as well. Kind of a shame to replace it, but I really do need to train another trunk up here. And by that time, one of these might have died anyways. You never know. These are the replacement spurs. Got an extra one there. You want them below the top so you can arc up and replace one of the cordons if need be. And that's about it. This is a really nice looking vine, and is it its 4th year? Yeah, it's grown 3 years. It's 4 years old now because I started the channel 3 years ago in March. Yeah, this will be its 4th year. We'll get fruit off of it this year. This spur right here is just a total mess. This is just fine. And I believe I'll only have to take this off. But then we got all these buds. We got a tiny little bud there. That's going to grow later in the year. Got a bud back there. Got some buds down here. The next time I come through here, I'm going to see what these 3 do. I believe all 3 of these are going to be just fine. And I'll rub off all this other stuff. This entire cordon is being replaced, so these right here, I probably left them to fill in for this big open spot. So that is probably what I'm going to end up doing. Cut this off right here. Just rub these off, unless that one is going real nice and perfect. So the next time I come down here, I'll be able to tell a lot better what these things are going to do. This time, I'm just doing the obvious stuff like this. See, I could just rub that bud off, but the entire thing doesn't need to be there. All right, now we have 2 buds aiming downwards. Yeah, that should be good right there. This whole thing really shouldn't be here. And this on the other side either. Replacement spur should be down here. This is the replacement spur. It's up too high, but it is what it is. That's the only place it could be. Now we have buds down here. All that stuff is going to do is just create a big mess right in this area, and you don't need that. This is the replacement spur on this side, but there's one popping out way down here, so I'm just going to remove this whole thing here. And there you go. Hopefully I got all the buds, but if anything starts growing out of this, I'll just knock it right off. This is the major thing I'm here to get rid of today. I'll get that when I go back up the other side. Yeah, this one is way behind the other ones. All right, that's up to no good, and neither is that. Yeah, this one, oh, there they are. Got a few buds there. Actually, just take that off there. None of this stuff is going to get replaced, so I only need 1 replacement shoot, and then that'll grow out into a vine, and then I'll just cut the end off a little bit later in the year, and then it'll have more buds for next year. Same with this side. Nothing's getting replaced on this, so I can cut that off, and we'll get rid of that one. And then this one will grow out and make some buds for a new one next year. Looks like all 3 of the buds that I want are down here, but I'll let this stuff grow until next time. This one right here is slated for total replacement. I got a bud down there that I can replace it with, or I can do it with this here. This one has never grown really well. I don't know. If this doesn't work, I'll just completely replace the vine. If this new trunk doesn't work, I'll just replace the whole thing. I'm going to train this new trunk right up the pole here and then out onto the wire. This stuff is just a mess. This is a bull cane right here. And yeah, this is just a mess right here. Gotta go. And then this one is just fine. Same here. A little bit behind, but that's okay too. And here's one that was planted last year. The buds towards the bottom always shoot first, but you can see it's alive up here. I'll probably just cut it off right there. And this other one, that bud's alive right there. So I'll just prune this dead stuff off from winter. And I have no idea how this is going to do this year. It should make it to the wire, but I don't know. Got a total mess here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spurs. But this one right here, look at all that stuff. I mean, that's no good right off the bat. Either is that, and either is that. Now what do we have? We have 2, 4, yeah, that's only 5 buds. I'll let that go until next time I come in the vineyard, and we'll see how this area looks, because this one was pretty bad. That's probably only going to have 1 shoot on it, so I might need a few extra shoots right there. Just take that secondary bud, get rid of that, and get rid of that. Yeah, those are fine. Too many, but still fine. We'll see what it does. This, I don't know why I did that. Oh, I see. This is a replacement spur, and so is that. They're way too high up. They should be way down here, but nothing wants to grow there anymore, so kind of out of luck there. Yeah, if we don't get any replacement buds coming out from lower on the trunk, eventually this vine will have to be taken out and replaced, because it gets really hard to replace. You could see the ones that were replaced with really high up replacement spurs, they end up going way up in the air and then down onto the vine. It's not a good form. This is a much better form. This is what I was talking about, the little replacement buds. You generally got to take all these off, but if it's in exactly the right place, which this one is, this one's way too high. We got one way up here, that's no good. Got one under here. I'll take off this whole bunch, and then this will become the replacement spur. And the same thing with that one right there. We'll get rid of this one because it's too high up. This one right here has a real nice set of spurs on this side. And then it's missing a cordon on this side. I have this. This is going to bear fruit this year, but this is not the replacement cordon. The replacement cordon is down here, and I'll have to train it up along the pole all year, and then hopefully by the end of the year I'll have it out onto the wire. But I'll get fruit off of this year, and then next year I'll cut it off like right here, and this will be the replacement spur for this arm, because there's nothing else here for it. Yeah, this is a real nice cordon right here. This one right here isn't even to its first 4 leaf stage, and it's already got flowers. in this last row, the top wire is really drooping. I'm going to have to really tension these wires this year, and hopefully those H-posts hold up to it. Yeah, it looks like the outside post has been pulled this way a bit. That's not supposed to happen, but we'll investigate that more when I get these posts in. But yeah, that's pretty bad. That has to be tightened up. You could see how this was the height it used to be, and then I put a new cordon on here, but now this has drooped down and kind of bagged this out. And yeah, they're connected at 6 feet, and then they drop down and then go back up to 6 feet again. Definitely not good. Gonna have to pull that tight. Yeah, this is a basket case right here. So one chute from each of these spurs here is gonna go onto the wire and be a cordon. One of those will be replaced with a whole new trunk coming up and a whole new cordon, but that could take a couple years. So we'll be getting fruit out of this until that happens, but once that other trunk gets up here, it'll be replaced. It'll be a lot like that one right there. And again, that's because if one trunk dies because of a cold winter, there's a 50% chance that the other one didn't, and you'll still get fruit. And here's the last vine. This is a replacement cordon right here, and unfortunately all of the shoots are pointing upwards. But I've seen it before where you have that, they all start growing up, and then the whole vine or the whole cordon twists downwards and they're all facing downwards. So hopefully that does that. I got to thin this out right in here and keep one of these as a replacement. Work my way over here and take off the up pointing ones, and that'll be it. I'm going to leave these for right now. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for today. For those of you who are new to the channel, when I pruned this originally, I left extra buds on each of these spurs so that I could choose the ones, like right now, that are aiming sideways or downwards, and get rid of the ones that are going straight up. I still have a few more to get rid of, but I'm going to do that when the shoots are about 4 inches right before I spray. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.